capacity vehicles for public transportation. They are economic, they are more efficient, they are less polluting, and so on and so forth. I know that there's a big problem with managing matatus, but I want to tell you, in a research we did at Kipra some point in 2005, we actually put forth a way of doing this, and it was very simple. Allow no more registration of the small matatu, and combine bring in cooperatives, and this must bring in the government facilitation to bring these people together, to facilitate how they come together, to form certain groups, to make corporate, not simply what I see happening today, that when I buy a matatu, I only Bandika, Thika Road Association, or what is called, Thika Road. That does nothing. It never transforms these vehicles into a corporate body. A corporate body will ensure responsibility. If an accident occurs, there is somebody to follow up. By the way, now my conclusion is that integration of public transportation to planning is not only a necessity, but also requires urgent action. 2, the strategies that are implementable and are recommended for this approach, the strategies that are implementable and recommended for this approach have been given. They are workable. They can work. Even with the current, what is being called master plan, we can find a new approach of facing the reality. It is recommended that every future development planning, expansion, and road and transportation facility improvement to apply the approaches that integrate public transport system into planning. Number 3, stakeholders and public-private partnerships to be involved in planning and development for viability and success. Then the Provision of Urban Areas and Cities Act 2011 to be applied for better integration of public transport into planning. This law gives a very good opportunity to urban administration to be able to bring sanity into planning. I would like to complete by saying this. The more we expand roads, the more we encourage more and more smaller vehicles.
So we need parking spaces.
Now, there has been argument about Thika Road, and I want to say this. If you used Thika Road by the time that Thika Road was officially opened by the president, there was quite high free flow in vehicles. Today, I live along that corridor. As I was coming here, I was late for this because many more people have not only moved to that direction, but they have also bought more vehicles. I do not know how long it will take before we have a gridlock in that road. Expansion of roads alone can never solve our traffic problems. We would rather put part of our resources in ensuring proper management, proper land use, and I'm not very sure that when that road was being constructed, there was any endeavor that was made to align land use along that corridor with the road that was going to be constructed. Because you make me move to that road, land along that road now is costing more than, I think, 100 times what it used to cost before. Land for. And we live in a democratic country where you cannot force somebody, you are not going to move to this place. We can only use instruments, planning instruments, economic instruments to control what we want to control and have a better Nairobi with the proper public transport system, efficient and flowing, together with our proper land use for development. I thank you very much.
It's a very integral part of transportation planning in this city.
The comment on the presentation, and which has really recognized that transport, especially urban transport here in Nairobi, there is a problem. But most of us think that the problem is congestion. Actually, congestion is not the problem, it's just a symptom of the problem. And you can see the problem that came out from this presentation is basically planning. We have not integrated transportation into planning, and that is the theme of this talking there. Something that has actually come out clearly is that we cannot build our way out of congestion.
Every time I meet my dad, as a senior citizen of this country, I ask him, what were you doing for the last 20 years? Because now we are fixing things that should have been done 20 years ago. And that is where the problem is. I don't want to go into the details because I know the planners are trying to discuss the process and all that. But one of the things that I wanted to inform you is that in the master planning or the strategic document that we want to have, and I have talked this about two sessions in Africa, one in Accra and the other one in South Africa, telling the same thing. If you are just planning to have a document as a map, then we are wrong. We must have a master plan with the intention to finance and implement. However well known we talk, if we don't have finance, we don't budget for it, we will get it wrong.